The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
What exactly is the power of the influence of a parent? Obviously, there are many factors. It seems like an elementary question. Of course, the parent is the great influence on the child. How does a parent influence a child? You know, I've noticed a phenomenon over the last couple of years speaking, and to me, in a way, it's a very disturbing phenomenon, but it also has a lot of rationale to it. I could speak about a topic for an hour. The topic is tshuva. The topic is tefillah. The topic is Torah. And I will happen to mention some random tidbit in the middle of the shiur, and you could bet your bottom dollar that when the shiur is over, most of the comments about the shiur will be about the random tidbit that I accidentally threw out and slipped in by mistake without any intention. That's what catches everybody's attention. I'll give you an example. Last year I spoke at a seminary during Elul, a seminary in Monsey. And it was a few days after I sent my own daughter off to Israel to seminary for the year. Now, it happens to be, I'm an emotional guy. And the Friday night before I sent my daughter off to seminary, it was so painful to me to think that next Friday night my daughter is going to be in Israel and we're going to be here, we're going to be missing her. I could not get through the Kiddush. I couldn't make Kiddush. I was weeping during Kiddush. That's me. Okay. And why did I mention this? I figured I'm talking to a seminary, and my daughter went to seminary. I want to establish some connection with the girls over there before I start. So I threw in the story. I wasn't even planning on saying the story. And after the drasha was over, the only comments I got about my drasha, really? You cried that your daughter was going to seminary? I wish somebody cried when I went to seminary. And by the way, that's a very telling comment in many ways. But to me, I'm wondering, I don't understand, I just spoke for an hour. Was my speech totally incomprehensible, that the only thing you got from it was that I cried when my daughter went to seminary? There's not one thing you learned from what I said other than a random story? And the answer is, that's exactly the point. Because the prepared talk and the rehearsed speech and the organized thought is just words. They're just dibur. It's just something you're saying, but something that comes out, that slipped in, agav orcha, mesiach lefi tumai, those are not your words. That's you! And people are not influenced by what you say. They're influenced by who you are. So you could talk for an hour, and it could be passionate, and it could be genuine, and it could be sincere, but it's the mesiach lefi tumai that makes the greatest impact.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org